Manchester United have a new guy between the posts.
Spoken to goalkeeping coaches about him, and he's been seen as a rising star in Belgian football for quite a while.
23-year-old Belgian keeper Senne Lammens. He joined on deadline day for about 21 million euros.
Welcome to Manchester United. It's a pleasure to have you here on deadline day.
And we all know why. Onana at one point made me think I could make it as a goalie. The guy couldn't save a PDF.
Because I think once you get uncertainty in your goalkeeping position, that anxiety spreads all the way through the dressing room, through the defence, into the stadium.
So United decided it was time to try something different, to bring in someone with big potential who can actually grow into the role. Hence the reason why they chose Lammens over the likes of an established goalie like Emiliano Martinez.
And then between the two, they go for the younger options, cheaper options.
So who is this guy and how good is he actually? Coming to United means more pressure for Lammens, but at the same time, given their recent track record of goalies, I actually think the expectations have never been lower. The goalkeeping situation had become a real headache.
It's just really clear that Manchester United need to bring a goalkeeper in.
David De Gea left in 2023, and Onana, who was supposed to be the big solution, kept making costly mistakes.
If you are one of the worst goalkeepers in Man United history, you need to take care what you are talking, if...
The guy was supposed to be good with his feet, yet he regularly messed up. When it came to actually saving shots, he struggled there too. The backup, Bayender, didn't help much either.
That's part of the goalkeeper's job. We talk about shot stopping, but that's about taking command of your area and also letting your own defenders know, going, lads, if it does come into this area where it came into, first of all, I've got it.
Have you seen these two?
So now United fans will celebrate Lammens' first save like they won the Champions League. They will cheer when he comes out for a cross and actually gets the ball, all because of how bad Onana was. When I first saw this guy, I thought he had zero aura. I thought United had signed the dude who said he won't cut his hair until United win 5 consecutive Premier League games. I thought that dude legit cut his hair and applied to be a goalie. That sounds crazy, but then again, United at one point employed Onana. Now you have probably never heard of Lammens because he was quietly climbing through the ranks of Belgian football.
And from what people are saying about him, I think he's a very promising young goalkeeper. He looks like he's already doing good things in terms of his shot stopping, his collection from crosses.
Starting at Club Brugge's academy. When he was 16, he was put in their squad for a Champions League trip to Atletico Madrid. A year later, he grabbed the spotlight in a crazy way. As a 17-year-old, he scored a last-minute header against Real Madrid in the UEFA Youth League. Yes, a goalie scoring with his head. Talk about confidence and a big game attitude. From not just a goalie, but a teenage goalie.
I scored a header in the UEFA Youth League. It's a good header as well. It's not a scrappy goalkeeper's goal. No.
Now breaking into the senior team at Brugge was a tough task. He was stuck behind Simon Mignolet, the ex-Liverpool keeper, who was the clear number one. Scouts still saw Lammens as a top prospect.
But he was a Club Brugge and he couldn't get past Simon Mignolet, who's been excellent for Club Brugge, a former Liverpool goalkeeper. So he went to Antwerp.
Calling up maybe the best Belgian keeper not to come through Henk's academy, but he needed minutes. So in 2023, he left on a free to join Royal Antwerp, who had just won the league. At Antwerp, he had to wait his turn behind Jean Boutez, but instead of sulking, he worked hard and stayed ready. In the 2023-2024 season, he only played 9 league games, but by the end of the season, he was Antwerp's first choice. That was the year that changed everything. Lammens played 44 matches, helped them qualify for Europe, and showed everyone what he could do. He even won Antwerp's Player of the Month twice, and got called up to the Belgium senior squad in March of 2025. By the summer, scouts all over Europe had taken notice.
Young keeper, loads of potential from Royal Antwerp.
And it was United who made the move for him. For Lammens, it was a dream to move to Old Trafford.
This move is my dream move.
For United, it was a smart investment in one of the brightest young keepers around.
He's seen as someone who can be a sensational goalkeeper in the future. I think from what I was told yesterday, the thinking was that they could miss out on him and then he could go on and be brilliant elsewhere, and then they'd have felt that when they could have done the deal for much cheaper.
When you check the numbers, some of the stats really jump off the page. People at United were especially impressed by how often he came out to claim crosses, how strong his shot stopping was, and how calm he was.
He's very calm, The mentality is good.
His crosses stopped percentage, which was 13.2%, was the best in Europe in the 2025 season. The big headline though was the shot stopping. Out of all the goalkeepers in Europe's top 10 leagues in the 2024-2025 season, he made the most saves, 173 in total, and had a strong 77.4% save rate. Those are pretty elite numbers. If we look deeper with the expected goal stats, it looks even better. Based on the quality of chances that he faced, he was expected to concede about 66 goals. Instead, he only let in 48. We're not counting own goal. That basically means he stopped 18 goals more than an average keeper would have, ranking him second in Europe for goals prevented.
If you look at his numbers last season, they were excellent. If you look at something called post-shot XG differential, it's basically how many shots is he saving that the data wouldn't expect him to save, and it was very, very high.
He also saved 4 penalties in the Belgian league. No one even came close, with the next best keeper saving 2. And it's not just basic numbers that stood out. The advanced numbers show that he's a great goalie too. Using expected goals data, Lammens prevented about half a goal every single game, which was more than any other keeper in Europe. So he wasn't just busy, he was actually making the kind of saves that changed the result. Yes, Antwerp's defense gave him plenty to do, but it wasn't just volume. He was making saves other keepers wouldn't touch. And keep in mind, he was doing it while only being in his first full year as a starter. No keeper in Europe's top 5 leagues managed numbers like that. In simple English, he's not just stopping easy shots, he's turning what look like guaranteed goals into saves. Watching him, it's obvious why. At 6'4" with long arms and quick reactions, he covers the goal so well. He explodes across the line, stretching out a hand or foot to keep the ball out. His reflexes and agility are top tier. In fact, people in Belgium were already talking about him as a possible heir to Thibaut Courtois,
but is tipped to be the long-term replacement for Thibaut Courtois.
And you can even see some similarities between him and maybe a young David De Gea, because De Gea in his early years was capable of those how did he save that type of stops, especially with his feet from close range. Lammens can make those same acrobatic saves. And then of course there's his record on penalties. It's very rare for a keeper to stop more penalties than they concede, but that's exactly what Lammens did. He even holds the record for most penalty saves in a single Belgian league season. That kind of clutch, pressure saving ability is a huge bonus. I mean, we all saw Onana against Grimsby, so it's something that United fans will love if it carries over. Shot stopping isn't the only thing that Lammens is good at. He's also very good at dominating his box, especially with balls coming over the top. One of the biggest knocks on De Gea and eventually Onana was that they didn't deal well with crosses and corners in the Premier League. Well, frankly, in any competition. Lammens is different. He's more aggressive and confident in the air. In the 2024-2025 season in Belgium, he claimed more crosses than anyone else in the league. When teams tried to float the ball into the box, he was quick off his line, either catching it cleanly or punching it away. Because of his height, long arms, and good timing, he's kind of built for that kind of thing. He doesn't shy away from jumping into a crowd to clear danger, which is exactly what United need. If he can bring that same energy to England, United might finally have a keeper who actually relieves pressure instead of staying glued to the line. The kind of presence that can really calm the defense, knowing your keeper is actually going to come and deal with the crosses. Of course, the Premier League is a step up in physical battles and speed, but the early signs suggest that Lammens has both the frame and mindset to handle it. The United defenders and fans and Amorim might finally be able to watch a corner kick without having to pray an inshallah that it doesn't turn into a goal. In modern football, a goalie is asked to do more than just save shots, though Onana couldn't even do that. They also need to be able to play with their feet and participate in building play from the back. Onana was brought to United largely for this reason. His distribution was excellent at both Ajax and Inter Milan. So how does Lammens compare on that front? In his own words, he considers himself quite all around and actually takes pride in contributing with his feet.
I think I'm quite all round. I take pride in that, at everything I'm quite good.
At Antwerp, he frequently acted almost like an extra defender when the team had possession. He would position himself to receive back passes and he wasn't afraid to come out of his box to clear the balls over the top. So on paper, he should be comfortable acting as a sweeper keeper when needed. Analysts in Belgium actually noted that Lammens is unusually two-footed for a goalie. He's comfortable passing with either his right or left foot. This is a huge plus, especially when he's under pressure from opposing forwards. If a striker comes down his right side, he can easily ping a ball with his left foot, and vice versa. He is described as a keeper who looks for the footballing solution rather than just hoofing it aimlessly. During his United interview, he mentioned he watched a lot of Neuer, so that's a good sign, as well as idolizing fellow Belgian Thibaut Courtois.
As I got older and I became a goalkeeper, it was more like Manuel Neuer or Thibaut Courtois also from we have the same nationality, so you also look at them, look up to them a lot.
You can see the inspiration in both of his games. He has Neuer's willingness to join the build-up and elements of Courtois' shot-stopping abilities. Now, Lammens isn't as elite as Onana was supposed to be when he initially came to the club with his feet, but he plays with a lot of calmness. It's also worth noting that while he does like to play short, he won't overdo the cute passes. He knows when to clear his lines. That's a great quality because Onana didn't really lack composure, he lacked accuracy. Lammens actually has a reputation for being calm. It's something that I saw mentioned multiple times in any report about him. Lammens says a lot of his calmness comes from his parents, who are pretty laid-back people, and from his own routines.
Your mentality, that patience is one part of it, but your mentality overall has been spoken about quite a lot. Your calmness, your reaction to any mistakes you might have made. Where does that mentality come from? Your parents, the players you watched growing up, or is it that's just you? Yeah, also, like you just said, also from my parents from growing up. Like I said, my parents are also really calm and collected, so I think growing up also from them a little bit.
I can see it, to be honest. It looks like he just rolled out of bed for his presentation day. One of his habits, he said, is journaling. Before the games, he writes down key words and thoughts to clear his head. It helps him stay focused, live in the moment, and not overreact when things go wrong.
Someone said you keep a notebook. Yeah. Before and after the game, I just write key words down and my thoughts a little bit, because sometimes if you don't do that, it can be a lot going through your mind. It helps me staying calm and staying in the moment a little bit and not overreacting in situations.
Honestly, for a guy his age, that's a pretty mature way of working on the mental side of football. On the pitch, he's known for not losing his cool after mistakes. As he put it himself, if you want to be a good goalie, you have to be a rock behind the defense.
I think also if you want to be a good goalkeeper for the team, you have to be a rock behind the defense. They have to trust you and count on you in difficult moments. So that's also where something I take pride in.
The ability to shake off a bad moment is huge at a club like Manchester United, where anything you do is under the brightest of spotlights.
The fact that they say that they do Manchester United come under more scrutiny than any other team. Mboma was talking about it at the weekend. Harry Maguire's spoken about that.
He's also realistic about what this move means. Lammens called joining United a dream come true, but pointed out that it's just the start.
I'm really hungry to get started and to improve also, because I want to get to the next level as soon as possible. Yeah.
It's a nice grounded attitude showing he's not arriving with any sort of arrogance. He's hungry to learn and to adapt. He brings the right mix of composure, work ethic, and self-belief to really give himself a real shot and making it at United. And he seems fully aware that now comes the hard part, actually proving it at the very top level.
End destination is the most important, and the end destination, so to say, but this is not the end. This is just the beginning. Yeah, it's every time a new start, a new beginning.
A lot of players look good before they put on that red jersey. Lammens actually combines some of the best traits of both Onana and Bayender. He has more height and aerial dominance than Onana, and he's more comfortable with the ball at his feet than the Turk. He might not yet match Onana's pinpoint passing when Onana was actually able to make pinpoint passes, but he does offer the full package as a modern-day goalkeeper. Now, no player is perfect, and Lammens is no exception. While his talent is undeniable, he is still relatively inexperienced at the highest level, and that brings some expected weaknesses.
In Senne Lammens, from Royal Antwerp, with a lot of people watching us would have never heard of that club.
23 years old. He's just had one really full season being a first choice #1 in the Belgian league.
For one thing, he has only played one full season as a first choice goalie in a top division. He has virtually no experience in European club competitions, because Antwerp were in Europe, but he wasn't the starter during their 2023-2024 Champions League campaign, and is yet to play an international game for Belgium. Luckily, United are not in Europe, so that's not a big deal. We can ignore that for now. But in general, the spotlight and intensity at United will be far greater than what he's used to at Antwerp.
A goalkeeper is already an isolated position. We've talked about it with Trafford and Donnarumma already. At Manchester United, it feels all the more isolated right now, given Manchester United is a punishing environment for a young player without experience at the moment, because the glare is so strong.
As much as I joked before and throughout the video, Manchester United are a massive club. I mean, they're so big that whether they're at the top of the table or at the bottom of the table, they're still one of the main points of discussion when it comes to football. Fans and coaches alike will need to be a bit patient with him as he continues to learn. If a mistake or two happens, it will be about how he responds. And as I stated earlier, his mentality suggests he'll bounce back from it instead of collapsing.
Even if you make a mistake or something, you just move on and try to give your best to the team.
All the raw ingredients are there. He just has to put it all together to reach his ceiling. The club clearly sees him as a long-term bet. At just 23 years old, he's signed until 2030, and the plan is for him to be the first choice keeper for years to come. As I stated earlier, many people in Belgium believe that he is the successor to Thibaut Courtois, which is a massive compliment considering that Giraffe is one of the best in the world. What's encouraging is that Lammens is clearly up for it. He called United the perfect place to keep developing, and talked about growing with the team to reach his goal.
I want to try to improve also with the team, and at training every day in the fitness inside, or at the pitch with the goalkeepers, with the team.
That's how focused he is on improving and helping the squad. He's not just chasing personal hype or headlines. Of course, he'll be tested by the pressures of Old Trafford. One mistake can turn you into a meme overnight, but with his calm nature, there's good reason to believe that he'll cope. Let's not forget, this is a guy who once went up and scored a header as a goalie in a youth match. Pressure doesn't scare him. In the end, United signed this guy because they see a gem in the making. He's already shown elite shot stopping, a modern style of play, and surprising maturity for his age. Yes, there will be bumps along the road, but if he clears those hurdles, the payoff could be huge. A reliable top-class keeper anchoring the defense for years. It's definitely a gamble, but a smart one. And if it works, United may have found their next great goalkeeper. To see just how desperately a keeper change was needed at United, you have to check out this video right here that shows you just how bad Onana really was.